Why my grandfather regrets moving into a nursing home, the hard truth you didn't know. The biggest mistake of my life, and the hard truth I wish I had known. At 83, I thought I had seen it all. I had lived through wars, built a family, and seen my grandchildren grow. But nothing prepared me for the most painful realization of my life, the day I understood that moving into a nursing home was my biggest mistake. I thought it would be my safe haven, a place where I could relax and enjoy my final years without worry. My family reassured me, saying, "Dad, you won't be alone. You'll have people to care for you." I believed them. I trusted them. But what I didn't realize was that I was giving up more than just my home. I was giving up my freedom, my dignity, and the very essence of who I was. If you or a loved one are considering this move, I urge you to listen to my story. Some of these truths may shock you, but they are lessons I learned too late. 1. The day I lost my independence. The first morning in the nursing home, I woke up feeling like a stranger in my own life. No familiar smells from the kitchen, no chirping birds outside my window. Instead, the sound of nurses walking past my door, distant beeping of medical devices, and an overwhelming sense of loneliness. I reached for my book, only to realize it wasn't there. My nightstand was different, smaller, impersonal. My home, my sanctuary, was gone. Then came the real shock. I couldn't even open the window. It was locked, only cracking slightly for safety reasons. My world, once vast and filled with choices, had shrunk to a single room with beige walls and a bed I hadn't chosen. Meals arrived on a strict schedule, whether I was hungry or not. Medication was given at predetermined times, not when I actually needed it. Want to take a walk? You have to wait for an attendant. Even bedtime was dictated by someone else. Little by little, I stopped deciding things for myself. I adapted, because I had to. But I never realized how much I'd miss my independence until it was gone. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the small freedoms that make life yours? Because once they're gone, you'll miss them more than you can imagine. 2. The loneliness no one talks about. When I first arrived, my family promised they'd visit often. At first, they did. My daughter came on Sundays, bringing me my favorite cookies. My grandson would visit after school, sharing stories of his soccer games. But as time passed, the visits became less frequent. My daughter started calling instead of coming. My grandson got busier. Holidays were the hardest. "We'll try to come, Dad," they'd say, but something always came up. And so, I sat in the common room, watching the clock, hoping today would be the day someone would walk through that door for me. I wasn't the only one. I saw it in the eyes of others, the silent waiting, the forced smiles when we realized no one was coming. The truth is, life moves on without you. Your family still loves you, but when you're not in their daily lives, you become an afterthought. I stopped calling as often because I didn't want to seem desperate. But inside, I was. I was desperate to feel like I still mattered. Are you prepared for the loneliness? Because no matter how much your family loves you, being out of sight often means being out of mind. 3. The slow death of purpose. At home, I had purpose. I tended my garden, fixed things around the house, cooked my own meals. Here, everything is done for me. At first, it seemed like a luxury. No more chores, no more worries. But soon, I realized something was missing, my reason for getting up in the morning. I saw strong, capable men slowly fade into nothingness. My neighbor George, a carpenter, now sat with idle hands. "I feel useless," he once told me. And I knew exactly what he meant. Without purpose, life becomes nothing more than waiting. Waiting for meals, waiting for medicine, waiting for the day to end. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? Because once you move in, finding purpose isn't as easy as just filling your time, it's about fighting to hold on to the things that make you feel alive. 4. The physical decline came faster than I expected. Before moving in, I was doing fine for my age. I walked every day, cooked my own meals, and stayed active. But here, I stopped moving as much. Meals were brought to me. Help was just a button away. Slowly, my body weakened. One day, I struggled to stand up from my chair. My legs felt heavy, my balance unsteady. I was aging faster than ever before. I saw it happen to others, too. People who arrived walking on their own slowly became dependent on wheelchairs. The less we moved, the harder it became to move at all. If I had known, I would have fought harder to stay active. Because once you slow down, getting back up isn't as easy as you think. 5. Losing my privacy and dignity. At home, I had privacy. Here, it's a luxury. Nurses come in and out, knocking but not always waiting for a response. The hardest part? Needing help for things I never imagined, dressing, bathing, even using the restroom. Dignity is hard to lose. And once it's gone, it changes you. 6. The struggles of making friends. I thought I'd make friends easily here. But many of the other residents were too tired, too withdrawn, or too lost in their own thoughts to engage in real conversations. Some of them had already given up. Others were suffering from dementia, unable to hold a conversation for long. I longed for the kind of friendships I had back home, the ones where we shared stories and laughed until we cried. But here, everything felt temporary, fleeting, and shallow. 7. Leaving isn't as easy as you think. I thought if I didn't like it, I could just leave. But my home had been sold. My body had weakened. My family wasn't sure I could live alone anymore. So here I stayed. I don't regret growing older, but I regret believing this was my only option. If I could do it over, I would have fought harder to stay in my home. If you're facing this decision, think carefully. The life you have today, your routines, your choices, your independence, is worth holding onto for as long as you can. Because once you give it up, getting it back isn't as simple as you think. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that life is made up of choices. Some we get right, others we regret. Moving into a nursing home was the choice I thought would bring me comfort, but instead, it took away the very things that made life worth living: my independence, my purpose, and my sense of belonging. I don't want you or your loved ones to face the same regret. If you're considering a nursing home, think carefully. Are there alternatives? Can you make adjustments to stay in your home longer? Could family or community support make a difference? Aging is inevitable, but how we age is a decision. Don't give up your freedom too soon. Fight for the life you love while you still can. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Start the conversation with your family. Explore options. And most importantly, don't wait until it's too late to make the right choice. What are your thoughts? Have you or a loved one experienced something similar? Let's discuss in the comments below. Your story might help someone else make the right decision.